Season 2 has just started for my server in Call of Dragons, and it's crazy. There's a ton of new events, a lot of stuff you need to go and do. So in this video, I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide on everything you need to get done in a brand new season of Call of Dragons, especially if you're just starting Season 2. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming and today's video is sponsored by the makers of Call of Dragons. And I'm not in my normal studio because I'm doing a little bit of traveling for vacation, but I really wanted to get this video out because when a new season starts in Call of Dragons, you've got to hit the ground running right away. And this video is going to give you all the stuff you need to get that incredibly fast start. Now, the first thing you need to do is pick what region you're going to spawn into. The season that we're doing right now is called technically Season 1 Plus, Stars Reignited, and there are 4 different starting regions, so you should be in coordination with your alliance which of these zones you're going to start in. We started in Darkling, but technically we were also having a group start in Sophrostia, but then the kingdoms we were going to be fighting decided they were going to go to Sophrostia, so it's going to be really chaotic at the start, and you can be attacked in your first zone, but you will start with a peace shield, and that peace shield lasts for, I think, 2 full days. So you do have a little bit of safety as long as you don't attack somebody else at the start of your going into a new zone, but be sure to pick the right zone. And if you don't pick the right starting zone, which is an important choice you make at the start, there is a chronicle. If you go into your Augur Stone, you can see at the end of the first chronicle, Unyielding Fate, you can resurge. Resurging allows you to go into another starting zone, but comes with a massive drawback. Almost all your troops, I think it's like 80%, get put in your hospital, and it takes time to get them back, obviously. And all of your policies are reset, and you lose like half of the currency you need for your policies. So it is expensive, but expect that a lot of people will sort of resurge based off of what happens in the first couple days in your server. It's just absolutely chaotic and hectic, and I hope you're having as much fun as we are. Now, with that said, let's start with claiming your previous season's rewards, all right? However you did, you'll get some amount of currency. I got 2,568 of this currency over here. It's the Yggdra crystals. Hope I pronounced that correctly. I also was in the highest tier of rewards and got the Anointed Artifact Compendium. Let me show you what all this does. So I claimed that highest tier of rewards, and now I have that currency and also the Anointed Compendium. Here is the shop that you gain access to depending on your tier in the previous season. I mentioned I'm in the Anointed tier. I think that the best thing to go and get over here is probably the Legendary Hero tokens. 10 tokens for 600 currency is really good. And you can only purchase one item in the Crystal Store. Now, technically, if I understand correctly, the value of all these things is about the same. So you can't really get a ton of value, if I understand correctly, from any one of these particular things. If I look at the gem value of these honor points, it does look like it's a little low compared to some of these other items. But look, Legendary Hero tokens are amazing. I'm taking them. That's going to be my pick. You only get one item from the limited store. So I'm going to take this item, confirm. You can see it's now sold out, and that's all I can get from this store. The higher tier has obviously the better stuff. For the same amount of currency, it was the 600 here. Now, I can go into the common store, and there's a bunch of stuff I can get here. And I think that the best thing you can get for a killer start to a new season is to get all of the CP recovery items. And why is that? You use those CP recovery items to put levels on your heroes. Level advantage at the start of the game is a big deal. The thing that I am noticing, however, is that it takes a lot of this currency, and I'm kind of tempted to get a Legendary Ascension Emblem. Now, what does this do? In Season 2 of Call of Dragons, you can take your artifacts all the way up to 6 stars. But to go from 5 to 6-star artifacts, you need Legendary Artifact Emblems that you're shredding. So this is one of those emblems. It doesn't actually let you skill up an artifact, but you can use it to go and increase your star level. This, I think, is a good take, and the CP items are a good take. For now, let me show you some of the other things that are here. One of those things is the Anointed Artifact Compendium. Okay, now I got this tier of Compendium because I had the highest tier of rewards, but the Artifact Compendium has a probability of giving you some really good artifacts. The Infernal Flame is really, really good. I would love to get this. And the drop rate is extremely high, but you have to spend gems to do this. So you're basically paying gems to get artifacts here. And if you have the gems saved up, you're looking at 30,000 gems. This is very good value because you're guaranteed a legendary artifact every 10 draws. Now, is it going to be a good artifact is an interesting question. Of the artifacts that are in here, I think Visage of the Sanctus, Dragonscale Armor, and Infernal Flame are the most premium. But obviously Shadow Blades, Phoenix Eye, Kingslayer are great. Dragon Rift is also great. And then some of these are honestly really disappointing if I were to get them. I'm going to be super real with you. Getting things like Lucius Horn, Wolf, Woman of Healer, these things will be pretty disappointing. So I'm going to do this now. I'm going to spend the gems, show you what I get from the Anointed Artifact Compendium. If you want to jump to any one part of the video, just use the timestamps. If you just want to see things like the battling Darklings and that kind of stuff, we'll get to that in just a bit. We're going to jam through these 20 pulls, and please, please be good to me. Don't remind me I'm spending gems again. We're just going to go nuts here. We got the Epic. Okay. I think we're just guaranteed to get 2 legendaries. I don't think you would expect to get more than 2 legendaries. I'm getting a lot of epic fodder as well, which is actually, I suppose if I read the drops, I'm surprised, but I probably wouldn't be if I read the drops there. But this is a lot of really great fodder to go to 5-star artifacts as well. So these are great pickups if you have the gems, and you pretty much got to be a spender to participate in this. But we're going to show you what this looks like. Centaur Bow is a cool pickup. Okay. And we're almost at our guaranteed legendary. Here it is. Please be good. Infernal Flame. Let's go! That's the one. That is the one. The literal one I wanted. Oh, that is actually so hype. That is so hype. Okay. Immediate. Snap it off. Apply the skill upgrade. Amazing. So happy to see that. So good. Okay, well, now I just want to keep pulling, obviously. That was incredible. For 15,000 gems, I feel very good about that pull. If you think about the Forge of Light, it's like, what, 6,000 gems for 10 pulls in Forge of Light? So it's a lot of gems to get a guaranteed legendary over there. Now, if you're going to spend gems in pulls, this is where it is. And if you need to save your gems to be able to do this, it's 30,000. It's a lot. Just keep this in mind. And remember, it's 15,000 per legendary. And you could get wrecked. Like, I actually just got really lucky. Like really, really, really lucky. Like, that was extremely fortuitous. Okay, here we go. Please. Come on. Okay, Dragonscale Armor. For me, it's fodder. I already have this at 5, but that is because I'm a whale. So, GG. Okay, cool. Those would have been really, really, really exceptional pulls, both of them. If I didn't have Dragonscale Armor already maxed. But that compendium for the gems, big value. Try to save up the gems if you can. I recognize most people have other priorities. That's cool. Let's get into some of the nuts and bolts of what you do. You've landed. Maybe you played around with these rewards. We haven't even covered the events yet. The first thing you need to go and do is you need to go and battle Darklings. And you're going to find they are much, much harder than they were last season. Much, much, much harder. So you're going to possibly need multiple marches, but the game forces you to start at level 2, then go to level 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to level 10. So if you can, use only 1 or 2 marches to battle your Darklings until you get to level 10s, and then if you want, you could use 5 marches to battle those Darklings, or if you need to use 5 marches to battle the lower level Darklings to get the higher level ones, do it, because higher level Darklings give more experience. And remember, at the end of the first day, you actually get level 11 Darklings, which are going to give even more experience, okay? So, battle your Darklings. After you battle your Darklings, or even as you're battling your Darklings, put talent points in your heroes. You need talent points in your heroes to use them for a number of things, including battling your Darklings. And, just to share with you my strategy for which heroes I'm leveling up first, I did basically one of each troop type, more or less. I did 1 infantry hero. I did Madeline. She is really powerful in the early game because her second skill gives you 15,000 more troops. You will find that you do not have many troops at the start of a new season. So this is really killer. Madeline, Very, very good. Lilia, went with her, obviously. Whale move. I have her maxed. I'm going to work on her. And I'm putting her into a peacekeeping tree so that I can get the bonus experience up here. That's going to be a long project, and then I'll switch her talents later. Bakshi is my cavalry primary, again going into the peacekeeping tree. I'm using Thea so that I can get my Celestials online. And then I'm using Kanara in order to get my really high-powered archers up and running. I nearly have her maxed, and soon I will finish that project. Okay, so those are the heroes that I'm working on. And the other thing you can do is gather for experience, which you can see I'm doing now. And when I say gather for experience, what do I mean by that? Well, after you start your Dragon Trail, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a second, you're going to put a little bit of experience on your gathering heroes. Now, you've probably watched my gathering guides. I've talked about this in the past, but these talents, Earth's Grace, are very good at leveling up your heroes. So you put the levels onto there, and then when they gather from the nodes, they'll start to give experience. If you don't have these talent points applied, they're not going to give experience. So you're going to go do Dragon Trail, apply these talent points, send out your gatherers. That way, you start getting experience from gathering onto your gathering heroes. Big W to get that done at the start of a season, okay? So you can see I'm doing that gathering, and also your alliance should be building their center fortress. Okay, we're doing that now. I have a troop over there in the center fortress, and 4 other marches gathering. I could theoretically have some other marches nearby in case we get attacked, which has already happened several times. So getting this built is very critical, very critical. That's why I've got a troop committed to it. From here, other fun things you need to get done. The Dragon Trail, critical. It's reset, and that's definitely a bummer because, I don't know, it's a little tedious at times to jam your way through the Dragon Trail, but you will find the difficulty is much harder now, and also you know much more about how to play the game, so presumably in some ways you'll have an easier time battling through these levels. Now, the reason you did the Darklings first is so that you would have leveled up heroes with talent points now to go and battle in this game mode. Now, if you want to min-max a little bit, in the earlier stages, you only have room for 3 marches. So theoretically, instead of leveling up 5 heroes like I did at the start, you could do only 3 heroes. And then you might get to level 20 and bring a secondary hero in your marches. There's a lot of value to that, obviously. I'm going to confirm giving up this challenge. You push your way through the Dragon Trail. That gives you this item over here, Prestige. It's also going to give you some experience tomes. That's how you level up those gatherers real quick. But if you make your way over to your policy board, you will find that your policies have been reset and you need to reenact these. Now, I recommend going for military expansion, then free healing. I made a dedicated video all about policies. I'll have a card up in the top. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Free healing is the way to go. And also military expansion. Now, coincidentally, military expansion will require all of these items in this column to be level 3, as well the medical stockpiles. So getting all these things to 3 at the start is a really good goal. You need it for your military expansion anyways, and also you want to get to this military expansion. You get more troops over there too. It's all about increasing your legion capacity at the start of the game. Makes a very, very big deal. So we're going to go in, we're going to continue that research, and there's the policies. But if you thought that was all there was to talk about, let me tell you there is so much more. We still haven't even gotten to the bundles and the events. Let's start with the bundles. Couple things you'll notice is that there's this recharge event for doing initial spending, and it's reset. It's back. If you did spending in the early game, first season, all of the recharge rewards are back. For purchasing some amount of raw gems, you get extra goodies. It's crazy. So much value. So you can get that back, the purchase payback, easy enough. Looks like there's only 1 tier of that I could get. No, there we go. I back out and back in, and now I can show you more. I need another 1,800 gems worth of purchases, and I'm getting more free stuff. I love to see it. In addition, for those of you that wailed on the gem market, the first purchase double gems over here has reset. So I probably will pick up the double gems at some point. Also, now's a good time to claim your monthly packs to get these CP items to go and level up your heroes. The daily deals are about the same. The heroes that you... just kidding. New heroes in the daily deals. Garwood, Bakshi, Thea, now in the daily deals as well. Wow. Crazy. I'll say that if you're working on Kanara, that's a really good one to do, as is Madeline, because those heroes aren't available in the gold keys. And so these heroes are. I would start with the heroes not available in the gold keys from your daily special offer. Final couple bundles I want to talk about is the Joy of Destiny. This is for a specific event. I'll show it to you. If you're a spender, it's worth playing, but if you're not a spender, I hear it's pretty expensive to try to claim new heroes. I'll show it to you in just a second. And this Blaze of Glory bundle is back from the first season, even if you bought it before. This bundle, as I understand, is better than the regular super value bundles that are available to you, and you can buy the $100 tier 3 times. I haven't bought the Blaze of Glory yet, but I'll maybe make a separate video talking about it at some point. This will be the first super value bundle I purchase in a new season, with one exception of Joy of Destiny, because I want to go play that event, which I'll do in a separate video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And also Treasures of Tamaris, which I would do for the Arcane Dust, maybe, to get an early advantage in some of these fights. Maybe. It's a little, I mean, whale moves, okay? From here, the events. Wow. A lot of them, okay? Riches of the Forest. Personally, I think, between doing the Compendium and doing Riches of the Forest, you should do your Compendium. How does this Riches of the Forest event work? Well, you spend gems with a small chance of getting a reward. And this is basically like your regular artifact key pulls, except that there are some other items in here that are rare, like Infernal Flame. I really want another one of those to finish my Infernal Flame. You might be interested in the Rattle Spear. I personally feel like it's kind of clumsy, unless that's the only march you're bringing on the board. Card will be up in the top if you want to see my review of the Rattle Spear and the Spring Blades. I think, obviously, Dragon Scale Armor is a huge W, very powerful. And, I mean, I'm tempted to just do the 50% off spin or pull here because, I mean, it's 50% off, right? But 6,000 gems per key is pretty expensive. If you were spending gems on keys, it's obviously a step better than what you can get in the Universal Artifact Compendium over here, but it's still really expensive to try to pull artifacts that you're interested in from this list. It's definitely a whales play. It's a thing you can do, but it is awfully expensive, and you are guaranteed a legendary every 90 draws. So be mindful of how close you are to those 90 draws to get your guaranteed legendary. From here, many events, as I was saying, the Wheel of Destiny. This event I'll cover in a separate video, but this is how you can unlock both Sindrian, who is a Strongest Lord event hero, and I think it's very good to get him from here if you want him, because most people, depending on your server, aren't going to get him easily from Strongest Lord. And then Freygar, who is going to be on the wheel later on, and you'll be able to get a lot of her. She's less important to get from here. I think Sindrian, I am going to max do this just to get Sindrian and start using him and bring him online. The Dragon's Trail race is very interesting. On your marks, reach and complete Dragon Trail stage 55 as quickly as possible to gain these rewards. Hey, you got 14 days. You got time. Says quickly as possible, but you got time. Speaking of time to act, there's a speed-up event at the start of the season, at least for our season. Heeding the Call. As you reach more members in your alliance, you get higher rewards. Behemoth Hunter, we've seen before. The Great Reveal, Revival, I guess. This event is all about getting your alliance up and running again. So, new kin in town, there's no cooldown on your teleports, which is great. Normally, based on your City Hall level, if you switch alliances, there's potentially a cooldown on your ability to teleport. You also get 200% alliance building speed and 100% donation recovery. It is critical you make your donations to your alliance at the start of the season. Absolutely freaking critical. And the new Strongest Lord hero is Sindrian. So a couple thoughts here on things you can do. As I mentioned, donate to your alliance and be online and smash help as much as you can. Our alliance is now full. And, we had like almost 200 players in the alliance before, and now we're back down to 40, which is a huge rep, obviously. So go in, collect these rewards, make sure you go in and you're doing your donations. You can't actually gem donate until you've been in the alliance for 24 hours, but I think gem donating, especially if you're spending, even if you just do like the 10 gem tier of donation, if you're a spender, is a nice little boost to your alliance. Obviously, we want to get our member limit up, so everything should be going into this Divine Covenant. Alliance leaders should be looking to increase the member capacity as fast as they can. Obviously, some amount of war technology will become relevant, but at the start, more members means more donations, which means more technology, so get that running as fast as you can, okay? And I think that covers the majority of what you need to do at the start. After this point, okay, after what you've seen me do, and this is me showing you everything I've done so far, right? After that, what should you do? you should teleport onto Alliance territory before your shield wears out. Okay? So as soon as you can, looks like for us, in a matter of minutes here, we'll finish up our center fortress or our core fortress, right? Some number of people get to teleport over. After they teleport over, they can start to build flags. Those flag builds are going to be really critical. And in this season, there's a bunch of new stuff that once you build to, you'll be able to interact with, which includes village management. And I'll talk about that in a separate video because this is really just about, hey, what the heck do I do at the start of a brand new season? However, my promise to you is that I will make a playlist covering all of the events at the start of the new season so you don't miss out on it. So consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss when I make the playlist, and I also go and I cover all these other events. I will spend gems on Riches of the Forest just to show you what it's actually like. It's not actually much different than artifact pulls, but whatever. I will spend gems on this over here to get the premium rewards, the Wheel of Destiny. You're not going to want to miss that. You'll see exactly how that goes. I'll show you what's in the bundle. So consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you're looking for more videos to prepare for your second season, I'll give you a card in the end screen for the video where I talk through everything you should make sure to get done before you get to this moment we're in right now, a new season starting. So check out that card in the end screen to see all the things you should do before your current season wraps up.